Hey, it's Matt from Hidden Machine, here again reporting live from the Brown Chamber. I just want to give everyone a little update on the channel, talk about what we got going on lately, and what we want to do in the near future. As we were getting ready to head into 2023, we had some pretty big plans for the channel and things we wanted to try to accomplish with it. And I know we're a pretty small channel, we have under 2,000 subs, the videos don't do crazy numbers, but we really love making stuff and sharing it, and you have shown that you enjoy interacting with it, and I think we have a nice little thing that we're building here from the ground up. So we want to continue to foster that and do what we could to make it bigger and better and, just see where we can take things. Unfortunately, those plans were derailed pretty heavily by two major factors, the first of which being I was supposed to move into a new house late last year, and I've been, if you've watched our last few videos where we're on camera, we've been in this tiny brown room, which is a small addition that was built onto a little duplex that I've been living in with my girlfriend for the past few months. We are planning on moving into a new house eventually, where we'll have more space and I'll be able to finally take my belongings out of storage and out of boxes. But in the meantime, we are in this temporary apartment that is not ideal for filming or shooting or recording anything. And I think it's shown in the kind of slowdown of the content, and, even the overall look of stuff hasn't been as nice as it has been in some previous videos. It just is what it is. I'm starting to become fond of it, but I also can't wait to get out of here. So it's a whole big long sob story as to why we're here and not where we want to be, but we'll be there eventually. There's some work being done on the place and it's almost ready for us to move into. It's just a very old house that had a lot more issues than anyone was aware of when we started the process of getting ready to move into it. The other major thing that had an impact on the channel was Andrew Taylor, you might know him from Hidden Machine videos, decided he needed to take a break from the channel. So he's doing his own thing for a while. He's got a band, the Lazarus Vector, that he's been working with, and we were going to build a set inside of his home. But with him taking a break from things, it didn't make sense to occupy his living space with a Hidden Machine set. So that got put on pause. So we had two ideas for different sets, one at Andrew's home, one at my home, and neither of those things worked out right around the same time. And so here we are again. You can see Jordan has been streaming from his home, and I've been streaming and recording from the brown room, the wood panel chamber here. And that's where we're at for the time being, kind of indefinitely. I don't know how and when things will change and what it's going to look like. Everything's just kind of unknown and up in the air, and that's okay. I mean, we're pushing forward and doing the best we can in the meantime, but it does kind of feel like we were ready to kind of push into this next tier of things we want to accomplish in terms of just creating something that feels bigger and better and more exciting and more engaging in a way that without actually showing it and doing it, it's hard to explain. It's all very obviously, what creator doesn't want things to be better and more engaging? But we had a lot of ideas for, different shows and different ways to interact that are kind of hampered by being in a room where you can hardly fit two people, let alone three. Three is three is a lot. There have been a few times lately where I've had 3 or 4 grown adults in this room, and it's unbearable for me mentally. Physically, it's very tight. But 1 or 2 people is probably the limit in this space. It might look a little bigger than it actually is, but it's not that big. And especially when you start putting in microphones, lights, cameras. I have the PC in here. You can probably hear it if you listen close enough. I can't get far enough from the fans on the computer to mitigate the noise. There's also a big window right here, and a lot of noise from the neighbors comes in through that. And there's also old crickety heaters, rickety heaters all along this wall that are constantly going But it is what it is, and we're going to do the best we can, and then eventually when I move, we will start to build a new set, and we'll make new and different things. But in the meantime, you can see Jordan's been regularly streaming. He's on 2 to 3 times a week, pretty consistently. He's been going through recently the Ocarina of Time, and before that he played through Majora's Mask. I have no idea what he's doing next, but those streams have been a lot of fun, and I've seen a lot of returning people and new faces in those streams, so that's cool. We appreciate you guys coming to hang out and interact during those times, and especially the sort of advice and tips that come through I know have been very helpful at times. I mean, I'm speaking for Jordan, but I've seen him go, oh, yeah, I mean, thanks. And then sometimes maybe, sometimes people might give too much advice, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all in good fun. Personally, I've been doing impromptu streams here and there. My job is very irregular, and there will be days where I don't have any work, and I've been hopping on Elden Ring, and there's been people helping out in those streams. Often, again, new people coming in, and I really appreciate that as well. Also, Jordan and I have continued the Yeah, I've Played series. Most recently, we did Silent Hill 2, and after that, well, the video has not yet been released. We have an upcoming episode, or probably going to be 2 or 3 episodes, on Beyond Two Souls, which was another game from Quantic Dreams. We previously covered Heavy Rain in a, I think, 10-part series. And at this moment, Jordan and I are playing through Detroit Become Human. So we're going to try to do that Quantic trilogy of their, later era games. I have a script for a video on Fahrenheit or the Indigo Prophecy that I'd like to do something with, but that game is, the more I think about, the harder it is for me to talk about it. And there's also another video that I'm going to insert right here. I can't remember who made it, but the info will be right here as I point at this. This is a great video on the topic, and I don't think I could do any better than this, and I don't really know if I have anything unique to share. This really encapsulated a lot of my feelings on the game. The one thing I am kind of interested in is how a lot of the scenes from that game were seemingly later repurposed for other Quantic Dream games, and how it kind of seems like David Cage, warts and all, I know he's a controversial figure, and I'm not trying to condone any of the allegations made against him or his company, but from what I understand, they have kind of taken responsibility for all that and have been doing things to make Quantic Dream a better place to work at. This isn't what that video is about, though. What I think is interesting is that him and the Quantic Dream team seem to have been kind of making the same game for a while and just refining this idea and trying to iterate and create something that's this ideal version of this marriage of gaming and cinema. And I think it's really interesting, and that's the kind of stuff that I've personally been a little more focused on, is kind of these gaming topics that keep me up at night when I'm just, thinking and I'm lost in my thoughts. I have been writing down a lot of video ideas and script ideas and writing a lot of scripts and essays. You've seen some of that with my previous essays. The biggest one was the Remedy Connected Universe video I did, but I've done a bunch of other smaller video essays, and I am going to continue doing those. I recently did one on what I feel is the failure of Alan Wake Remastered. Since launch, I've become more and more disillusioned with that game and upset about the performance issues. If you haven't seen it, I'd suggest checking it out. Long story short, the most recent set of patches actually broke other parts of the game while trying to fix other parts of the game that were already broken. It's a mess that just keeps kind of tripping over its own feet. But Alan Wake 2 is coming soon, and I have been working on a lot of other Alan Wake and Remedy related content because the excitement has gotten me. I've been replaying those games and just thinking about where is this series going to go. We'll definitely be covering Alan Wake 2 and how it connects to the lore and trying to go as deep as we can into that stuff. Once that game inevitably releases, when that date will be, no one knows. Yet. Beyond that, Jordan and I have some videos that we made that were going to be smaller video packages for a new season of Have You Played, which is our companion show to Yeah, I've Played. But I think we're going to cannibalize those and make them into something else, so we're not sitting on them for the next 6 to 8 months while we wait for a new set to get built and everything. So you can expect to see some sort of new review series that are quick, bite-sized reviews where we look at a group of games that share a similar theme or aesthetic or have some sort of link between them, however tenuous that may be. But that will be coming soon. You can keep an eye out for that. And beyond that, that's pretty much what we're doing. The channel has been making a little bit of money, which is nice. That money's just going into a bank account right now. But it's cool. It's nice to see it grow. I gotta be honest. We've been doing this for about 2 or 3 years, give or take. There's been times where we haven't really had our foot on the pedal, or, we've been trying to navigate this as we live our lives. This is not our job full time, but it is a thing that personally I like to see grow, and I know that everyone else involved also has liked to see it grow, and we do what we can for it when we can. And that's kind of been the idea behind the channel being more of a collective, is, creating a structure that if people need to come and go, people need to weave in and out, people need to contribute in different ways. Jordan's found a niche with the streaming, like I do more of the video essay type stuff and some reviews. It all kind of works to build the hidden machine. Maybe in 2023 we will finally do some Pokemon coverage, seeing as our name is a reference to a mechanic from Pokemon, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And I don't know. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being on the Patreon. Thank you for watching the videos and letting the ads play and giving us a few nickels here and there. Personally, I just want to say that I really appreciate a lot of the longer, deeper comments that I've seen posted on a bunch of the videos recently. A big motivation for me in making these sorts of videos, especially the essays and stuff, is I have these big thoughts that I want to share, and I'm not just trying to tell people how to feel. I'm trying to say, these are my insights. I'd love to hear your insights, and a lot of you have taken the time to share your insights, and I really appreciate that. I think it's really cool that even though the videos aren't getting tons and tons and tons of views, we do pretty consistently get comments that are like a couple paragraphs long, where people are definitely sparked to respond in some sort of way, that they're actually sharing something more than just first or nice video. I really appreciate having a bit of a dialogue and seeing what people think about these games, because for me they inspire thought and feelings, and I'd like to know how that affects other people. And in addition to that, I'll say I really appreciate the game suggestions that come in. So please, if you have other games that you think we should cover on the channel, or games that, based on what you see us playing that you think we might like, hit us up, let us know. I like talking to people about this stuff. We have a Discord that's pretty inactive, to be honest, but every now and then there's some conversation, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. So hop on there, talk to us, we'll talk to you. Let's turn this parasocial relationship into an internet relationship, all right? And I think that's everything I wanted to say. I'm kind of just going off the cuff, but I felt like I wanted to talk about, where we're at, especially because where we're at now is not where I thought we were going to be when I was looking at the future 4 or 5 months ago. Things shifted, and that happens, and so here we are, and things will shift again in due time. And while that happens, I want to thank you for being there with us. All right, so that's it. I don't have a good way to end this. I've been mixing cinnamon into my coffee before brewing it, and it's a really nice treat. That's a good way to end it. That's good. That's a good tip. That's a life hack.